everyone, it's Malia, and welcome to the Good Vibes Only podcast. I am your host, Malia, and today we are going to be talking about the habit that changed my life. And this is really important to me because this is something that I actually realized very recently. So I guess I can't really say specifically how it has impacted my life because it has been so recent. I think this has given me enough time to realize that I am going to be using this intention, this habit, almost every day for the rest of my life. So I hope this helps a lot of people. If you are new here, this is actually my first podcast to the series of the Good Vibes Only podcast. If you're new to my YouTube channel, feel free to look around. I've been posting travel vlogs, so if you're interested in those, I just recently traveled to Alaska. So if you want to check out that vlog, please check it out. It is on my channel. And yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the habit that changed my life. You heard me, changed my life. And you might be like, that sounds a little bit extreme, Malia. Did it really change your life? And yes, honestly, the past few months, I believe it has changed my life. So I am very excited and happy to share this with you. So I'm just going to say it right off the bat because I think it's really important for me to just get it out there. The habit that changed my life. Sounds pretty philosophical and deep even, but this has truly helped me a lot. So I actually recently had a conversation with my close friend about, because I've been feeling really depressed. I've been withdrawing and relapsing into this depressive state. And I was like, oh my God, I feel hopeless. What do I do? And he was telling me, Malia, all you gotta do is wake up and be like, I'm gonna be happy today. And guess what? You're gonna have to remind yourself to be happy probably 300 times a day. It is not gonna just be, oh, I wake up, I choose happiness, oh, I'm happy for the rest of the day and everything is perfect. No, that is not how it works, unfortunately. I realized the first time that I started doing this, I kept reminding me hour after hour, minute after minute. But honestly, just starting the realization with life is short. There's gonna be bad moments. The only constant in life is change, and that is something that I realized too. And it's something very important to remember because change can be both positive and negative. And sometimes, yes, you should expect negative changes in life because they are inevitable and it's a part of life. As long as you are aware that these changes will happen, regardless of wherever you are in life, even if you think things are going extremely well. And I'm not trying to put a negative connotation on this and be like, oh my gosh, your dreams and aspirations are gonna swoop down. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that seasons are expected in life. You can't have a rainbow without rain. And that's something that I try to remind myself every day because happiness comes with sadness and sadness comes with happiness. And although it's hard to say and hard to hear, it is a fact of life. And honestly, once you come with this realization, you'll realize how important it is to be unswayed by these negative changes in life. It all depends on your perspective too. You might be like, oh, something really bad happened. Oh, I'm really hard on myself with grades and I just got an F on a test. Okay, that's a little extreme. I just got a C on my test and I'm used to getting really high scores of A's. And that's okay because you just have to expect relapses sometimes, and that's okay because guess what? We are human. And humans are expected to make mistakes, expected to change. Some changes won't last forever. Most emotions are actually temporary. As long as you recognize what kind of emotions you are feeling, the first step for emotional intelligence is actually its awareness. And being aware of, oh, right now I'm actually feeling pretty happy. Oh, right now I'm feeling pretty anxious. I have a presentation coming up and I'm not good at talking in front of people. Oh, right now I'm actually pretty worried because of this interaction I had with someone. The first step is recognizing what emotion that you're feeling for emotional intelligence. And like I said, we are human and we're expected to have fluctuations in our emotions. And that's why if you have to remind yourself to be happy every day, like several times throughout the day, that is totally okay. Because again, we are human and we are expected to have these changes in life. So yeah, just to throw that out there, that was the big realization that I had. So those actually close to me know that I am on a big self-development journey. I am trying to find myself, trying to discover who I am, and although I am still very, very young, I'm still a college student to say the least, I still feel the need to prioritize myself and discover who I am. And this is the reason why I wanted to make a whole podcast about this, is because I realized this is something very important to me and something that I think everybody should know, because happiness is such an important factor of life. And I really do think I'll make a whole podcast on this in the future, but I really do think that the purpose of life is happiness. Like I said before, changes are expected in life, but I really do think that if you set the intention to be happy every day, you'll really see a difference in the way that you perceive life. And just really go about your day feeling happy is like one of the most foundational and fundamental parts of life. If you want to be happy, sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. And I know that's like really difficult to hear, because sometimes you are really going through it and it sucks. It sucks that people really have to go through these negative changes and really have to experience the big downfalls of it, and they become so stuck in their own emotions and they feel like they can't get out. And sometimes you do have to fake it until you make it, which is unfortunate to hear, but unfortunately the truth. Sometimes faking it till you make it can mean setting the intention to be happy every day. And that is the thing that has changed my life, because honestly, happiness is so important. And I know I keep reiterating this, but I really do think that happiness isn't so important. I'm actually studying happiness in this book that my friend's district member bought me. And I have been reading it a lot, and it's talking about the difference between relevant and absolute happiness. And absolute happiness is the ultimate goal of life. And you can be unswayed by external circumstances and ultimately find happiness in your life. And I think that really does start with waking up each day and being like, I'm gonna be happy today. I choose happiness today, and that is all. You can actually, I might do a whole podcast on this in the future about morning motivation. I actually gain a lot of inspiration by Fernanda Ramirez. I really love her. I love her podcast, Better You. It's such a good podcast. If you haven't listened to it yet, please go check her out. I think she's great. But anyways, I got inspiration from her to do a morning motivation podcast, which I'll start soon. So look out for that in the future and stay subscribed for future video and podcast updates. You can set the intention to be anything, as of, I'm gonna express love today. And what we're mainly talking about this podcast episode is, I'm gonna be happy today. I'm going to take care of myself today. I'm gonna drink enough water today. It can be a whole list of things, so it doesn't have to just be happiness, but I'm really trying to reiterate happiness because it is the purpose of this podcast, and I really want to share the importance of how easy it is to be like, I'm gonna be happy today. And if you need to remind yourself, if you find yourself withdrawing throughout the day, like something happened or whatever reason, and you just gotta be like, okay, I feel sad right now, but I am going to intend to be happy throughout the rest of my day. And you just keep going. And it's really a powerful tool, honestly, because I think it can really uplift people's lives if you can really just remember to be happy. A lot of people may ask me like, Malia, how can I be happy if so much is happening in my life? All these external factors are bothering me so much. They're making me so depressed. I've been in this depressed era for months. How can I move on past this? Maybe you're going through a breakup. Maybe there's just some family or relational issues. I don't know. everyone's going through something different, right? And everything has their own circumstances. And really want to put this into your mind of like not allowing external factors to sway your mood, because honestly, happiness is the ultimate goal of life. And if you let these negative external factors influence how you are feeling, influence how you're gonna spend the rest of your life, then it's not that important. And something that I saw on social media a while ago, which I really wanted to touch base on because I thought it actually really helped me a lot too. As much as this happiness intention helped me a lot, this helped me a lot too. And it's basically an Instagram reel saying, if this doesn't affect me in 5 years, then why should I spend more than 5 minutes worrying about that? And that really hit home to me because it made me realize like how many things I actually worry about when it's not even gonna affect me in 5 years. Like, for example, if I do really bad on a quiz, and I get really hard on myself with like academics and grades and stuff. If I do like horrible on a quiz, like I get a C or a D, and I'm like, oh my god, and I start crying, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm a failure, I'm not smart, I'm stupid, oh my god, my life is ruined, I can't believe I got a C on a quiz. It just makes me realize, like, is this C really gonna impact how future Malia is gonna live her life? And if you really think about it, probably not. And I guess it does depend, because let's say it wasn't a quiz, let's say it was a test, and it did really affect your grade, and you're planning to go to grad school, then it could affect it, but not severely. And then again, it's just a test. And I know for a lot of people, including me, that is hard to hear, but sometimes that is the reality of it. So I try to remind myself of the 5-5-5 rule. If this won't affect me in 5 years, then why should I spend more than 5 minutes worrying about it? And that really hit home. Another thing that helps me a lot is actually setting a time throughout the day to actually worry. And that, I know that sounds like kind of crazy, like why would I set time to make myself feel a certain way? But honestly, this does help a lot, because let's say you're setting the intention to be happy today and you just want to go about your day, live your day, go to class, meet your friends, get a little socializing in there, and then something triggers you. And you're like, oh my god, all these memories are coming back. I'm having flashbacks. I'm going to freak out. I'm going to have an anxiety attack. No, we are not going to let that happen throughout the day. And if that does, try not to be so hard on yourself. Again, we are human. Expect changes. It's important to not allow yourself to worry and ruminate so much throughout the day, because you really just want to be happy throughout the day. I mean, I guess you don't want to go to bed and be like, oh, I had such a terrible day, I was so sad, I worried about this for too much, this thing happened and it caused me to worry all the time. Yeah, so it's actually something I only tried once. For me, it's actually kind of hard for me to implement into my life, but I just wanted to share it with you anyway in case you guys are interested. But basically setting the intention to worry at a specific time of the day. Let's say, just generalizing it here, let's say 7 p.m. for you every day to set a time to worry about this specific situation. You're going to set a timer for 10-20 minutes, no longer than 20 minutes. 20 minutes might actually be too long, but you don't want to ruminate for that long. You're basically just going to sit with yourself, allow yourself to feel the worry, and do this alone. Once your day is pretty much complete, so maybe even later in the day if that works, you can even grab a journal and just like journal down what you are feeling, why you are worried, why you feel sad or upset or anxious or depressed. Allow yourself to let that go. And so yeah, I've only tried this a few times and I realized that it does pretty much help. I actually journaled quite a bit about it. It's something that I think will help a lot of you, and I totally think that is valid. So why did I choose happiness of all the emotions? Why can't it be excitement? Honestly, it is so important to just be optimistic. And I really do think that being an optimistic person will attract you to good people, and you'll find yourself surrounded by good, uplifting, good energy people. And I really do think that optimism is the key to life as well. And I think that happiness is the ultimate goal of life. And I really did just choose happiness because I think that happiness is honestly the best emotion to feel. Can't you agree? Don't you feel like so content with yourself once you feel happy? For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm just getting comfortable. Please feel free to get some water, grab a snack. I'm just chilling out with y'all, talking about life, talking about happiness and the importance of happiness. I'm really trying to reiterate this. You really have to fake it until you make it. Whether that be like, oh, I feel really sad right now, but I'm just gonna walk into this room being the most confident person ever. And honestly, once you start actually faking it until you make it, your brain will be like, okay, this actually feels good. And you'll realize that soon your brain will make it a habit and you'll become happy and become confident. And you'll walk in that room with confidence and be like, I am the happiest person in the room. And that is actually another tip that I heard about. This is actually my New Year's resolution. And I told myself that whenever I walk into the room, I'm going to be the happiest person in the room. And that has really ingrained in my mind, actually. And I think that allowing myself to feel happy, and even like I said, faking it until you make it, faking happiness even though it looks projected to others that you're happy. And again, I'm not trying to make this turn into like negative positivity or anything. I'm really just trying to say, if you tell yourself, I'm gonna be the happiest person in the room when I walk in, then you're really going to see a change in your mood and really see a positive effect on your happiness. Another important step to setting the intention to be happy is to feel confident. And what I mean by that is actually dress in clothes that you feel confident in. Like, for example, this outfit I think is super, super cute. And I feel happy on camera and just happy to be here in my cute little outfit showing it off to you all, Another thing that I try to do is if I know I'm going to be really anxious about something like going into a crowded room or have a dentist appointment, I don't know. I try to make it my best interest to intentionally listen to happy music. And okay, one of my favorite happy songs to like dance to that really sets the vibe going is Fantasy by Mariah Carey. And I don't know, I just think she's so fun, and that song just makes me want to get up and dance around and walk and just, I don't know, dance like I'm at a party. And I really think that if you find those kind of happy songs that you want to listen to in public when you know that you're going to be worried or have this negative feeling, you really just want to put your headphones in, get the vibe going, and just dance to your heart's content, really. That is another tip on how to maintain and remain consistent with your happiness. And I really do think that these tips with consistent practice will definitely help influence how you are going to be feeling throughout your day. And I really do think that setting the intention to be happy every day is such an important step, especially like to your morning routine. Like, if you don't have a morning routine, what are you doing in this era? Like, just saying. I really do think that the first thing that you can do when you wake up is be grateful that you woke up and you have another day and you have all this time set up for you, another opportunity, if you will. And you really are just like, okay, Malia, I'm gonna be happy today. I'm going to be loving today, and I'm going to be optimistic. I'm gonna look at things through a positive lens and see things positively. And also just remember that you are ultimately doing this for you. You aren't doing this for anybody else's happiness, are you? You are doing this for you to feel good and for you to live your life to the fullest. And I really do think that that is such a foundational and important aspect of life. Also, make sure to do the things that you love. I really do think that those hobbies or interests tend to get neglected once you are swamped with tasks of life. But it is really important to find pleasure throughout your day, whether that be doing a hobby, exercising, whatever that may be. really trying to be mindful and choosing what you want to do throughout the day that is going to be pleasurable and that is going to make you happy will actually increase your happiness. And I really do think that these pleasurable experiences and these hobbies that we have created are here for a reason, and that they're intended for us to be happy. I know you guys are probably like, Malia, you're saying happy, 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 happy. I'm saying this so much, but I really do want to ingrain this in your mind because I think it's so important. Another thing, I think it's really important to be mindful of every task that you are doing. For example, I have a really bad problem with scrolling. I have an addiction to scrolling on, honestly, I don't have TikTok, so it's YouTube, but I have a really bad scrolling addiction on social media, and I think it's terrible. I really do think that it is important to be mindful of every action that you're doing throughout the day, whether that be washing the dishes, walking the dogs, petting the cats, making dinner, doing your work, studying, playing an instrument, whatever it may be. I really do think that it is important to be mindful of what you're specifically doing. Like, for the example of washing the dishes, like actually being mindful of touching the dishes, feeling the water, feeling the temperature of the water, feeling the soap. I really do think that mindfulness is a key aspect to happiness as well. And we can really use that to our advantage and find small things in life that bring us joy. You'll realize that there are so many things in life that actually do bring you joy. Anyways, that is all I have to say for this podcast. So yeah, this was the habit that changed my life. And that was to set the intention to be happy every day. I'll go more into depth on happiness in another podcast. I really do think that that's an important topic. So yeah, that is all for this episode. I really hope that you enjoyed it and found it valuable. I really enjoyed talking with you all, and I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day or night or evening. And right after you listen to this podcast, listen to Fantasy by Mariah Carey and dance your hearts out. I hope that you can set the intention to be happy today. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye.